There are moments when we feel invisible. Like no matter how much we try to stay positive, manifest, or visualize, something just isn't clicking. I've been there too.
And believe it or not, Nietzsche, that Nietzsche, had a quiet insight that completely shifted the way I saw my own inner power. This video isn't about philosophy class. It's about something real. A mindset shift so subtle, yet so powerful, that it can change the way you show up for yourself, and how the universe responds in return. If you've been feeling off, tired of forcing things, or just ready to feel aligned again, you're in the right place. And if this hits home, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Let's figure this out together. Sometimes, all it takes is one quiet truth to wake something up inside you. This might be one of those moments. Silence, often misunderstood as mere absence of sound, is much more than that. It is a profound, sacred space, an invitation to turn inward. To truly know oneself, we must first quiet the relentless noise of the outer world and listen deeply to the whispers of our own soul. Nietzsche spoke of the Übermensch, the overman, as one who masters the self, transcends ordinary life, and creates meaning from within. This mastery begins in silence. In that quiet realm, free from distraction, the soul confronts its truths, sometimes uncomfortable, often enlightening. Here, we meet our fears, our desires, our deepest motivations without judgment or avoidance. Across spiritual traditions, silence has always been a path to awakening. Whether in contemplative prayer, meditation, or simple stillness, silence is the tool through which we peel away the layers of illusion and reconnect with our authentic self. It is the fertile soil where self-realization grows. Imagine, just for a moment, dedicating 5 minutes each day to this silent witness within you. No demands, no goals, only the gentle observation of your inner dialogue. Thoughts will come and go, emotions will rise and fall. But you remain the silent observer. In this practice, you begin to recognize patterns, to understand your impulses, and to cultivate compassion for your own journey. Silence, then, is not emptiness, it is a doorway. A doorway to a deeper understanding of who you truly are beneath the noise of the world and the chatter of the mind. Step through it gently and discover the vast landscape within. Our modern world is saturated with noise, endless notifications, ceaseless chatter, a torrent of opinions and information that demands our attention. This external clamor mirrors an even deeper, often overlooked phenomenon: the noise within. The restless mind, caught in a cycle of distraction and overwhelm, struggles to find stillness. Nietzsche warned of the herd mentality, the tendency to lose ourselves in the collective buzz, to drown out our own voice beneath the cacophony of conformity. This spiritual noise, the flood of distractions, pulls us away from our essence, from the quiet wisdom that resides in stillness. In this context, silence becomes an act of resistance. Not simply shutting out the world, but reclaiming personal sovereignty. It is a way to cut through the chaos, to cleanse the soul and mind from the toxic clutter of endless stimulation. Spiritually, this calls for a detox, not just of the body but of the mind. To step back from the noise and create sacred space where clarity and peace can return. When we choose silence in the midst of chaos, we remind ourselves that true power lies not in constant reaction, but in thoughtful presence. Silence is the sanctuary where the scattered self can gather and renew. Silence holds a subtle but profound power, one that commands respect and presence without the need for words. In social and professional spaces, the ability to pause thoughtfully, to listen deeply, speaks louder than any hurried speech. Nietzsche valued self-control and strategic action. For him, silence was not weakness, but a weapon wielded by those who understand their strength. It is in silence that true authority often resides, not through domination, but through mastery of oneself. From a spiritual perspective, silence radiates inner peace. This peace becomes palpable, drawing others naturally, creating a magnetic presence that no noise can imitate. The leader who listens more than speaks, the friend whose words carry weight because they emerge from reflection, these are the living examples of silence as power. Try this. In your next conversation, practice mindful silence. Observe the shift, not just in the space around you, but in the responses you receive. You may find that silence opens doors words cannot, inviting deeper connection and respect. It is not absence, it is presence made visible. Not all silence is created equal. There is passive silence, born from fear, avoidance, or submission, and there is active silence, a deliberate, powerful choice made by the strong. Nietzsche's will to power is often misunderstood as mere domination. But at its heart, it is mastery over oneself. Active silence embodies this mastery. It is not repression or denial, but a conscious presence rooted in awareness. Imagine the calm ocean beneath a storm, or the stillness of a deep forest. These are metaphors for active silence. The strength to remain grounded, to choose when to speak and when to hold space for thought. Reflect now. Is your silence a refuge, a way to hide from the world? Or is it your tool of empowerment, your expression of inner strength and sovereignty? Choosing active silence is choosing to own your power, to cultivate presence amid chaos, and to transform silence into a living force. Nietzsche revered silence as a form of self-assertion, a quiet rebellion against superficial sociality. In today's hyperconnected, noisy world, his insights ring truer than ever. Silence becomes an act of courage and authenticity. When we embrace silence, we align ourselves with ancient wisdom, the wisdom of presence and mindful being. In a society overwhelmed by distraction, silence is not emptiness, but fullness, a sacred space where the soul recharges, reorients, and reconnects. Choosing silence today is a revolutionary act. It is a refusal to be swept away by the tide of noise, a way to reclaim our individual voice and inner harmony. Through silence, we rediscover the depth beneath surface chatter and awaken to a richer, more meaningful existence. In this noisy age, let silence be your sanctuary and your declaration of truth. Silence, while powerful, often feels elusive in our busy lives. Yet, cultivating it is a practice, a gradual unfolding that invites transformation. Begin with simple steps: meditation, mindful breathing, or silent walks in nature. These practices anchor us in the present and open a gateway to inner stillness. Create rituals that honor silence. Set aside sacred time each day, even 5 minutes, free from devices, distractions, and obligations. Designate a quiet space, a refuge where silence is welcomed and protected. Remember, silence is not just about absence of sound, but about deep listening, to your inner wisdom, to the subtle rhythms of the world, and to others without judgment. Commit to this gentle daily challenge. Sit in conscious silence, observe your thoughts without attachment, and feel the spaciousness that arises. Over time, this practice softens the mind's noise, allowing peace and clarity to flourish. Through consistent care, silence becomes a steady companion on your journey of growth and awakening. Silence speaks a language beyond words, a universal tongue that transcends culture, religion, and time. It is the thread woven through spiritual traditions across the world. From the quiet stillness of Christian mystics to the profound emptiness of Zen Buddhist meditation, and the sacred pauses honored by indigenous peoples, silence is revered as a sacred vessel for connection. In relationships, silence communicates presence and respect where words sometimes fail. It carries the weight of love, grief, understanding, depths that language can never fully capture. To become fluent in this silent language is to open ourselves to a deeper form of communication, a communion of souls that embraces the mystery of being. May we all learn to listen, not just with our ears, but with our hearts, in the language of silence. Silence is often misunderstood as mere absence of sound, but it is much more. It is a sacred pause where the mind can rest and the heart can speak. In these moments, we discover the layers beneath our daily noise and glimpse the essence of who we truly are. When we allow silence to enter our lives, we open space for healing. The constant barrage of stimuli can cloud our judgment and emotions, but silence clears the fog, helping us see more clearly and respond with wisdom instead of reaction. In silence, we become more attuned to the present moment. This presence is not passive, it is alive, vibrant, and full of possibility. It teaches us patience, deepens our awareness, and reconnects us with the rhythm of life itself. Practicing silence regularly also strengthens our relationships. When we listen without interruption or judgment, we create a safe space for genuine connection. Sometimes, the deepest conversations happen not through words, but through shared silence. Finally, silence invites us to embrace vulnerability and authenticity. It is within quiet spaces that we confront our fears, dreams, and true desires. By welcoming silence, we learn to be comfortable with ourselves, and that is the foundation of true inner freedom. Silence also nurtures creativity and insight. When the mind is not racing with endless chatter, ideas can emerge naturally, like seeds sprouting in calm soil. It is in these quiet moments that inspiration often strikes most vividly. Moreover, silence helps us cultivate compassion, not only for others but for ourselves. By turning inward with kindness and patience, we develop a deeper understanding of our struggles and strengths, allowing us to extend that same grace outward. Quiet moments offer us the strength to face life's challenges with clarity and calm. They provide a refuge that restores balance when the world feels overwhelming. Even a brief pause can reconnect us with our deeper purpose, reminding us what truly matters beyond the noise and distraction. Stillness invites us to slow down and listen, to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us, opening the door to greater understanding and peace. Sometimes, we confuse noise with meaning. But just because something is loud doesn't make it true. It's in the gentle spaces, the soft pauses, where we begin to hear what truly resonates. There's a kind of wisdom that grows in the spaces between our thoughts. Not rushed, not forced, just waiting for us to notice. And when we do, we often find answers that words alone could never deliver. Life speaks to us in quiet ways, a feeling in the chest, a moment of still air, a glance toward the sky. These are not empty moments. They are full of presence, waiting to be received. Letting go of the need to respond, to prove, to perform, it's in that release we meet something more honest. Not a performance of strength, but a return to what's real. Not everything needs to be answered. Some things are meant to be held, carried gently like a candle in the dark. In choosing not to speak, we sometimes speak the loudest. The deepest transformation often begins in the quietest corners of our lives. Moments we almost overlook, yet later realize were turning points. We don't always need more input. Sometimes, we just need space to feel what's already there. Our hopes, our fears, our quiet knowing. The absence of reaction is not weakness. It is often the highest form of strength. The strength to stay rooted, to observe, to understand before acting. In the pause between moments, we meet the part of ourselves that doesn't need to explain, only to be. This one works beautifully as the final note of your reflective bridge, placed just before topic 8 begins. It offers a gentle transition into the stories of those who embodied this quiet strength. Throughout history, silence has been the silent force behind some of the most profound moments of transformation and power. Nietzsche himself embodied a contemplative silence, a strength rooted in deep self-reflection. Jesus taught through moments of quiet presence, his silences speaking louder than many words. Buddha's path was paved with silent meditation, revealing wisdom beyond speech. Gandhi wielded silence as a weapon of peaceful resistance, proving that quiet conviction can shake empires. Even today, leaders who carry calm presence demonstrate that silence is a form of power, turning the tide of conversations, movements, and lives through the depth of their quietude. These examples remind us that silence is not void but vibrant. It is a wellspring of wisdom, courage, and peace. By cultivating silence in our own lives, we step into this timeless power, a power that can transform not only ourselves but the world around us. Thank you for journeying with me into the power of silence. If this reflection has sparked something within you, I invite you to subscribe and hit the like button so more people can have this important information. Share your experiences with silence in the comments below. How has silence transformed your life? Your voice matters, even in the quiet. Remember, in silence, we find not emptiness, but the fullness of our true selves. Until next time, stay present, and keep embracing the power of silence.